We will start this session with a quick introduction and then we'll go forward with the questions.
Perfect. Thanks, Poonam. First of all, thanks for this opportunity. My name is Mitesh. I've been with Akamai for a little over 12 years now. In the past 12 years, I have done a variety of different roles, all in sales in different capacities. In my current role at Akamai, I'm responsible for driving top line growth for our business in India and neighboring countries, aka SAARC.
Mitesh, I would like to start this session with an overview of Akamai's generalized edge compute Gecko that has been announced and how it is different from what the hyperscalers currently offer.
Right. So before I get into Gecko, which is hot from the oven, let me just take a step back and how we reached here, right? So if you go back into history, when the cloud was introduced, perhaps sometime in late 2000s, it was centralized by design, similar to the traditional mainframe architectures. And over time, as these companies added more and more regions, they were simply more of the same, which is isolated compute data centers, all connected via the public internet. And while the cloud solved how developers and enterprises rapidly built and delivered applications without really having to worry about building for the infrastructure, it wasn't really solving the low latency scenarios and improved customer experiences. Now, these are just some of the challenges which could potentially be addressed by a distributed cloud where the cloud services are not confined to a specific physical location or a data center. Instead, the infrastructure and all the services around it are spread across hundreds of geographic locations, which basically allows for more flexibility, scalability, and of course redundancy. So the whole idea is to bring these cloud resources closer to end users, devices, and magnitude of data sources. So right now, the way cloud architectures are set up, they really treat cloud and edge as two separate things. But with Gecko or the Akamai generalized compute, we're changing that. Now, Gecko is our multi-year strategy to transform the cloud. Taking cloud computing to the edge by embedding or injecting cloud computing capabilities into Akamai's massively distributed edge network, something that we've built over 25 years. So what it does is it combines the computing power of our cloud platform with the proximity and efficiency of the edge to put workloads closer to users than any other cloud provider that does today. And if you look at traditional cloud providers, they support VMs or virtual machines and containers in a relatively smaller number of core data centers. Gecko is designed to extend this capability to, as I mentioned previously, our massive edge network. Bringing full stack computing power to hundreds of previously hard to reach locations. So what we believe what we're doing with Gecko has the potential to shape the cloud landscape for the next decade.
Thank you, Mitesh. That was really comprehensive. I hope Gecko transforms the landscape of cloud computing and everything. So, Mitesh, as artificial intelligence is taking over everything around, we can witness that. So, with the integration of AI technologies, how cloud and security landscapes are evolving, and what are the challenges associated to it?
Yeah. So as you rightly said, we're seeing a lot of impact given the rise in AI or Gen AI, around the services for cloud and security. So, at a high level, there is a lot of opportunity there, I would say. So once again, if we take a step back, while there is a lot of like we hear a lot of AI and Gen AI now, but Akamai truly has been using AI and machine learning in our products for a very long time, long time, right? So obviously, machine learning is useful for things like anomaly detection, bot detection. When an entity is accessing a bank account with the right credentials, whether it's a right person or not, or be able to detect, the malware has infected an application inside an enterprise. So lots of ways we've been using AI and machine learning. Now with Gen AI, while generally it helps common people in many different ways, unfortunately it also helps the attackers. It's much easier now to morph malware into a lot of different forms, making it very hard to detect. our own teams have created some very nasty bots very quickly using Gen AI, and I think we're already seeing more penetration as a result of Gen AI on our customers, and that's one area we are seeing it is being actively used today. So now on that side of the house, the implications are there is more risk in terms of cybersecurity for companies or enterprises. They are going to get penetrated more, and so enterprises have to really double down on their defensive depth. And to that end, products like Akamai segmentation are even more critical because there is going to be increased penetration. So the key really is to identify quickly and be able to proactively block this spread. And while that's on the cybersecurity and the impact of AI on cybersecurity, let's just spend a minute on compute. So, as I mentioned, Gen AI is likely to bring more sophisticated and complex artificial intelligence models that can handle broad range of tasks. Now, these advanced models, such as large neural networks, will require significantly more computational power for training, inferencing compared to the current AI models. So with the increasing, availability and the use of big data, the systems or the Gen AI systems need to process and much larger data sets as before. So this obviously will lead to demand and more computational resources to handle this growing volume of information effectively. Now, to meet the computational demands of Gen AI, there will be shift towards distributed computing and edge computing, which is what Gecko is looking to solve for, because these distributed AI workloads across multiple servers and leveraging edge devices for processing can enhance efficiency and reduce latency. So there are a lot of examples. Some of the examples are, if I could think of smart camera, for object detection, where a surveillance camera with built-in machine learning models for object detection can identify and classify objects. The other one could be, the health monitoring wearables, where wearable devices equipped with sensors for health monitoring can perform inferencing locally to analyze the data, and so on and so forth. Now, these are just some of the examples, but there could be many more, like for a commerce site, in figuring out in real time what content should be served to a user that's coming to the site, or ad targeting, right? So what ad should the users get? So basically anything that involves personalization. Even on the security side, a ton of inferencing is used to analyze real-time data. This is where Akamai will have an edge, specifically with Gecko.
Uh, Now, Mitesh, let's move our focus to Indian businesses. So, what do you think, which sector in India is currently driving the highest demand for cloud and security services, and why?
So, look, I mean, I think if you see our business, we cut across, customers from various different verticals, being it financial service institutions or companies in commerce verticals, or very large enterprises. So obviously we see a strong demand for our cybersecurity solutions, especially coming in from some of these sectors. So insofar as cybersecurity is concerned, what I can do is I can sort of break this into four key pillars, so it's easier for you to understand how we look at this market, right? So the first pillar is, of course, our app and API security, which has three key services. So first is API security, to be able to discover and monitor API behavior to respond to threats and abuse in real time. Then there is App and API Protector, which helps our customers to protect their web applications and APIs from DDoS attacks, bots, and also have coverage for OWASP, top 10 exploits. And lastly, there is client-side protection and compliance, or CPC, which basically assist companies in these verticals with PCI compliance and also protect against client-side attacks. The second pillar is zero trust security, which again has many services in it. But the one or two that I want to highlight is the Guardicore segmentation, or Akamai Guardicore segmentation, which is a service to mitigate risks in these companies by doing granular and more flexible segmentation. And then lastly, there is our access service, which basically help customers to provide granular application-based access based on the identity and the context of individuals. The third pillar is abuse and fraud protection, where we're seeing a lot of interest. Things like account protector, which helps to mitigate account abuse, especially for commerce customers, and help these customers grow their digital businesses. Then there is content protector, which is to stop scrapers, protect our customers in enterprise verticals to protect their intellectual property and help with increased conversions. And then there's bot manager, which basically helps our customers in these verticals to differentiate between good bots and bad bots. And finally, we just introduced a new service in the family of abuse and fraud protection, which is audience hijacking protector, which basically help our customers in retaining site visitors and also maximize conversions. And finally, the fourth pillar is infrastructure security, which again has two key services. So one is our HDNS service, which is our external authoritative DNS solution. And then there's Prolexic. We announced opening of 2 scrubbing centers last year. So what this service does is it helps customers to protect the infrastructure from large-scale distributed denial of service attacks.
Can you explain more about the company's vision, how it has evolved with time to meet the changing demands of Indian businesses and the market?
Sure. So, we first of all recently celebrated our 25th year of existence, and in APJ itself, we have been around for over 20 years now. And India again is is a very exciting market for us. So if you really look at okay, so to your question around our vision and strategy for India market. So as I was mentioning, it's a very exciting time for Akamai. Over the past 25 years, we have evolved from being a CDN provider to now a cloud security provider. And then, of course, cloud computing provider. So through a series of proprietary innovations and of course, external acquisitions, we have grown into a cloud services provider with cloud delivery, cloud computing, and cloud security capabilities, offering these solutions to our customers worldwide. So if you really look at our history, we have been scaling and securing the internet for our customers for over 25 years now. What we are now is a full stack cloud and security platform with perhaps world's most distributed cloud services. And what I mean by that is our customers today have the ability to scale everything, from content to cybersecurity to bringing the digital experiences closer to users while keeping the threats far away. Our customers know us and trust us for this scale, including the customers in India. And now what we are doing is we plan to scale cloud computing to provide customers with better performance at much lower cost. India is, as I mentioned earlier, is one of the fastest growing markets for Akamai globally. We work with over 300 customers, powering some of the India's largest conglomerates, comprising e-commerce, banking, financial services, manufacturing, and a lot of media and entertainment businesses. And the ongoing growth of mobile and some of the emerging trends like 5G and AI in this region means we anticipate the continued growth for our business. So we're invested and committed to this region and see sustained growth in India.
So can you outline Akamai's go-to-market strategy for 2024 and upcoming years, and how it will align with market trends and customers' needs?
Right. So if you really look at some of the key trends which we're seeing in India and of course across the region. So one is of course cloud security, and we're seeing a lot of businesses and a lot of traction in that part of our business, including businesses in India. Then number two is more around API security. So we're seeing our customers. So first of all, there is so API security is becoming a new vector where we're seeing a lot of attacks. And Akamai, through the acquisition of Neosec, very recently have have a solution where we can help customers, protect their APIs. There's that, and how we are looking to sort of capitalize on some of these big trends that we are seeing through our go-to-market strategy in 2024. So there are three broad trends that we believe will impact our customers in 2024. We also believe that these trends will also bring opportunities for our business growth as we look to address and solve some of these biggest challenges that our customers will face in 2024 and beyond. So number one is the neuroscience and social engineering. So we are already seeing that criminals are increasingly utilize the intersection between neuroscience and social engineering to target the vulnerabilities for financial gains. And why this happens is because the cognitive bias always affects or influence our ability to make decisions. And the attackers we're seeing are using these biases to manipulate people. As we're wired to trusted platforms in favor of the information that they seek. We're also seeing that these malicious actors are finding new ways and creative ways to infiltrate targets with more precision than ever before. And a good recent example of this is the campaign which targeted bookings.com. In November last year, our research teams at Akamai uncovered a sophisticated campaign where attackers managed to gain access to booking.com's messaging system and send customers a note within the platform asking them to update their credit card details. And many of the bookings.com customers fell victim to this attack. And in India, we obviously we are seeing emergence of such attacks as well. Whether it's the G20 website or airports that were under attack, victim to the ransomware attacks last year. So that's number one. Number two is the whole AI and then the misinformation around AI. So these modern AI, as I previously mentioned, can automate the research for social engineering attacks and also create convincing deepfakes to propagate misinformation and disinformation, and especially now when we are when we're standing ahead of elections. So there will be more of that we will see happening. And then the general consensus is that these things will only get worse as we see more rise and growth of AI. In fact, AI-generated misinformation is ranked higher than the climate change, war, and economic weakness in the World Economic Forum report 2024. So that's number two. Number three is we will continue to see cost pressures. And again, this is nothing new. It's a perpetual problem that enterprises face, and we believe 2024 will be no different. Because technology, when it's not optimized, can become one of the biggest cost line item in any company and the balance sheet. And as they adopt new technologies like cloud computing, the bill shocks have become a major problem. Which is what we're trying to solve with Akamai Connected Cloud. Because we know a lot of organizations are facing a double-digit, even millions of dollars in cloud bills. So we believe we are positioned to really capitalize on some of these trends through the Akamai Connected Cloud and then the platform we have built. And the same will reflect in our go-to-market strategy in India for 2024.
Thank you, Mitesh. That was quite insightful session. Is there anything else you would like to add from your end, which I may have missed to ask?
I like to sort of leave you with 3 or 4 key messages, right? So number one is, Akamai is the world's most distributed cloud platform. And what Akamai Connected Cloud does is it enables businesses in the region to control cloud costs in a much challenging economic environment that we are in. We have a massively distributed footprint spanning across 4,000 plus locations across 134 plus countries, and a large part of that network resides in India. So that's number one. Number two, we spoke about Gecko. It is the next phase of our roadmap towards a more connected cloud. it builds on the momentum that we have made, starting with obviously acquisition of Linode. With the launch of Akamai Connected Cloud and the rollout of our new core compute regions around the world, what Gecko does is it sort of furthers that momentum by combining the compute power of our cloud platform with proximity and efficiency of the edge to put workloads closer to users than any other provider that does today. Number three, India is a major market for Akamai globally, as I just mentioned, and we are already the one-stop shop for major enterprises in India to, build, secure, and deliver their digital experiences. And we reinforce our commitment to India market earlier last year by launching prolexic scrubbing centers in Mumbai and Chennai, and a new cloud computing site in Chennai last year. And the last one, and we spent some time on this, was AI power, AI, Gen AI, and we believe that cyber attacks generated through some of these will make appearance in 2024. And so the businesses in India across verticals, whether they're financial services or commerce, should focus on cyber resiliency.